these are my macros today. 13, what's it say? Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Hi. um, what have I got? 1,311 calories. My, oh my. 1,311. My protein is right under my 60 threshold, 59.5. Carbs are 13.6. And the fat is 112.7. And what I'm having today is one of my sons is coming with his girlfriend and her son, and we're having filet mignon. They're all having baked potatoes. I'm having Brussels sprouts, asparagus, and sauteed thick cut steak mushrooms along with mine. So that'll be fun. And probably a pat of butter on everything on the plate, all those 4 items. So I'm very excited about that. So here we are, and I just had something I haven't had in a long time. Can any of you guess? No, it wasn't a carb. No, it wasn't a piece of fruit. It was a nap. Just had a nap. Because I did the overnight last night, and it was one after another, after another, after another. So, yeah, I came home kind of cross-eyed, and it's like, this is not the night to entertain people. So, yeah, I just had a delicious nap. I was very surprised I was able to sleep. And now I'm talking to you guys, and I'm having a little LaCroix. Yep, and this is lime flavored. Here's to you, Amy. So, that's what's going on here. And all's well. I have no complaints whatsoever. I went to the chiropractor this morning for my knee and then came home, and I've been fluffing and buffing ever since, prepping like a sous chef with the hat, the great big white hat on, and doing it up keto. Of course, they don't have to have keto because they'll be having other things, the starchy veg. And Greg even bought DESSERTSs. So that's working out there. And Tammy had a show on the other day, yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was, when she does live. And Tammy, I'm sorry I missed you if you're watching this. And she said, what do you do when you get to maintenance? How do you handle your food? And a couple of people were asking me that on my journey too. And I've been on maintenance long time, 8, 9, 10 months. And what do I do different? I don't sweat the fat. It's all logged and tracked, but I definitely am more freewheeling with it. And my calories have kind of stayed the same, 1,300 to just under 1,500. And I have about 100 and, what did that say, 121? So I have between like 115 and 130 grams of fat in my food plan every day. And it means I have like 1.5 bulletproof coffees. I have butter on my veggies and my steak, sometimes my pork chop even. And then I put butter on, I cook things in butter. And so, or coconut oil. And then my salad, the only difference today is I have 3 tablespoons of macadamia nut and olive oil on my salad rather than the 2 that I was having. And at one point I only had 1 tablespoon. I can't imagine how dry that must have been now that I've had the 3. I'm not going back, just so you know. So no complaints here. That's how we're hanging. And as far as the keto goes along, who have I been watching? I watched the Ivor. I got one in my Fat Emperor. That's Ivor Cummins' feed in my email. And it had Gabor, somebody, and he was on, and he just reiterated pretty much what, if you're doing keto like I am, like Ivor is, and like so many of us here, the same sort of thing. And they say more and more and more, it's the inflammation and the insulin resistance that's going to keep you sick and invite those chronic diseases. Isn't it funny that they used to think it was fat? It's just so funny. So, yeah. Who else was I? Well, I've kind of addicted Kathy's Crazy Life. She sends me little uh, links to videos like Netflix and YouTube and also Prime. And I've been watching The Big Ward, and it's about obese people in New Zealand and what they're up to. It's fascinating. And what's even more fascinating is when when they go into their houses and stuff, you'll see all the products, and you'll see a lot of American products, but there's just something a little bit different at like the grocery stores as well as the person's shelves, and it's just a little bit different, but they're the American products, and so a lot of them end up having that's for the bariatric surgery. So I've been doing that, and I started to watch Tammy, started to watch Keto Gonzo, his live one, and a couple others, but it was so busy last night that I didn't get a chance to like really tuck in, as we say. So I guess it's just going to be a little shorty today because that's what's going on here. I hope that you're weighing, measuring, if that's what you do. If you need to get back on track, weighing and measuring and tracking really bring in the focus right there to what you might need to do, want to do, just to bring back that juju, that motivation that had helped you initially. Because sometimes it's the basics that when we go back to them, we find, yes, this really does work. Or perhaps really addressing the nighttime eating. I know, it's a tough one, but really addressing it and trying to get away from it so you're not spiking your insulin right before you go to bed. I'm pretty sure that if you're like how I was when I did my nighttime eating, I wasn't hungry. It had nothing to do with hunger. It was just that little habit that I had about sitting in front of the TV and just having to have something. And I never fell for we'll just have carrot sticks or celery sticks instead. It's like, no, I think it's the habit more than it's the item. And so it took me a while. And the way that I conquered my nighttime eating was as soon as I'm done, I floss and brush. That's it. Done. I think I gave up the food in the bedroom before I gave up the nighttime eating. So those were kind of two bad habits that went hand in hand. And to get me to a more, shorter window. I mean, this is way before keto, way before 2 meals a day, way before 1 meal a day. This is when I was still chowing down on the 3 meals a day, but dinner just kind of like went on. I'd eat at like 4 or 5, and at 8 o'clock I was still having a little something in front of the TV. It sure is different now. First of all, I don't go to bed at that hour anymore. I'm going much earlier. If I do an overnight, I go at 4:30 in the afternoon. And if I'm not, then I do at 7. I last until 7. And then I get up between 3 and 4. So I get my 8.5, 9 hours every night, and it works. And sleep is just as important as what you're putting in your mouth, because you want to not be producing that cortisol that is a fat. It just says to the fat, come on board right here in my belly and your belly. And so you want to stay away from that. So maybe working on a habit this spring so that when you get into summer, because summer will be a challenge. Spring and summer, maybe fall too, because I know there's a lot of fall festivals out west that people go to, and there's a lot of sentimental foods that happen at the barbecues, at the cookouts, at the family reunions. A lot of weddings happen. And we just get used to the bounty. I mean, even, one of the harder things for me to give up, something that always went with steak, was an ear of corn and a baked potato. Those are 2 things that aren't happening anymore. No, but that's okay, because I've got asparagus collie crumbles and Brussels sprouts and those great big steak cut mushrooms sauteed in butter. So maybe some of you saw my 15 veggies that are highest in sugar and the 15 veggies that are lowest in sugar. And that's just something to keep in mind too. And I know it's just changing the palate, isn't it? Where you change your palate and you get used to having something. Taking out that sweet, taking out those things that cause the sugar cravings, that cause the eating of those things, you know, the craving of something. And we're even used to having our vegetables sweetened up now too. So sugar is a dastardly habit. I did find, I think it's on Prime, Amazon Prime, that sugar film. And it's very interesting. The guy's done his work. He's very quirky with his editing and all about sugar. And man, oh man, we are addicted to it and what it does to our body. So taming the sugar demon, and how do you become from sugar adapted and fixated to having savory, fat adapted foods? It is tough, but I don't think it's not impossible, but you do have to get rid of the sugar. And I know that people hate to hear that. That's why I'm always surprised when people are doing keto-fied items, the desserts, the pancakes, and the things like that, because it's still kind of keeping, to me, psychologically, it would kind of keep my head busy. And I don't need a busy brain. I like my fatty meats, my savory foods, my pasture-raised butter on my items, and it just works for me. And my bulletproof coffee, I love it, and I savor it, and I've become quite the mug collector. That's kind of fun. So that's it from here. Just a little chatty. As you can see, I had to grasp for things to talk about because I had to see that you got through your first cup of coffee. So I hope you did, and we will talk the next time. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's April. There's still plenty of time to pull it all together so you can have the rest of the spring and the summer and the fall feeling trim and abstinent and lean out and all those really, really, really good things. If you need a bump, I offer ketocoachingsarah.com and ketocoachingsarah.com, and I offer phone call sessions, but my favorite to get you back into yep, I can do this, like a boot camp for tracking, weighing, measuring, and other good habits, is the emails. 30 days of emails, one-on-one, you and me. What's up? What are you sending me? What are you eating? Let's not have that. Let's add more of that. And that's how we do it. And so you get a good basis for what will work for you when you're let loose out into the pasture of your own keto food plan. So I will see you the next time here. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. And today mine is, 15. I will see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.